Welcome to the video explainer series of SSC Online Blog, wherein our experts will explain some very significant and crucial aspects of law relating to the articles contributed for the SSC Online Experts Corner. Hi, I'm Devika Sharma, and today we have with us Mr. Hiru Advani, who will be talking about the ongoing Amazon future dispute. Mr. Hiru Advani is the managing partner at Advani and Company. He is a highly regarded name and an authority on arbitration law. Mr. Hiru Advani has acted and continues to act for some of the biggest global players across sectors. Welcome, sir.
Thank
This
you.
is a wonderful this is a wonderful opportunity for us to learn the nitty-gritty of arbitration law from an expert like yourself who is an authority on the subject. You had contributed to our blog a very informative article on the conundrum of emergency arbitration in India, the Amazon future dispute. Through today's explainer video, we will try to understand some critical emerging aspects of arbitration law. We request you to please share your expertise. Let us start with the first question. The group of companies doctrine, although established in India by the Chloro Controls case, is still regarded as highly controversial, owing to a number of reasons such as party autonomy and the principle of separate legal personality. The Amazon future dispute has once again raised questions on the ambit of binding non-signatories to an arbitration agreement. What are your thoughts on the same, sir?
Let me put it this way. It is not controversial to some extent. It's been very popular under civil law countries. It has started in France and followed in almost every civil law country. Unfortunately, it is not being followed in many common law countries. For example, both England and Singapore don't accept this doctrine. So it was a very pleasant way that although this arbitrator was a Singapore-based arbitrator in the SEAC, because the arbitration comprised of Indian law, in this Amazon dispute, they combined all the agreements together and held that the doctrine will apply. Of course, the two judges, two single judges of the Delhi High Court, took somewhat different views. One of the single judges before whom the future had filed a substantive suit first took a view that prima facie Section 5 will not apply and the suit is maintainable, and then took a view that by combining all these agreements and Amazon controlling the situation, particularly of future contacts with Reliance, it exercised some kind of control, and that may not be a legitimate control on the company without the foreign exchange approval or FEMA approvals. While the other judge who was doing the enforcement issue took a completely different view, and he said that although all the agreements are to be combined and read together for a policy where the corporate veil is removed and treated as such, he said that is completely legitimate and does not mean it's exercising control over future. It's simply establishing that there are some negative covenants which are the right to enforce. So in my view, the single judge doing the enforcement action took a much more balanced view and a better view that by simply combining all the agreements, Amazon is in no way controlling future, but simply enforcing negative covenants, which is the view taken by the emergency arbitrator. And but just remember, in England and in Singapore, they do not follow the same doctrine. But it is followed in India, which has now chosen to follow the line of civil law countries such as France, etc., which completely for a long time have accepted the doctrine that non-signatories can be a party to an arbitration and the corporate veil can be lifted in these circumstances.
That is very instructive, sir. Thank you so much. Let us move to the next question. The Arbitration and Conciliation Act of India is silent on the recognition of emergency arbitrators in India. On the contrary, certain international jurisdictions, along with well-established institutions like SIAC and ICC, do have provisions for emergency arbitrators, India trying to win arbitration-friendly jurisdiction would eventually land at a juncture where enforcement of emergency arbitrators awards would create a fuss. What are your thoughts on the same, sir?
I think, interestingly enough, in this case, both the judges took a similar view that although the emergency arbitrator derogates from Section 9, since the Kyoral law, because the arbitration is Singapore-based, the Kyoral law of Singapore, we must follow the Singapore Kyoral law and the SISA rules, and therefore the emergency arbitrator is valid. The argument that was being made against the emergency arbitrator was that the Law Commission had recommended the emergency arbitrator, but the Parliament in its wisdom had excluded that, and therefore, since there was a specific exclusion of emergency arbitrator, it should not be recognized in India. But fortunately, both the single judges took the view that no, since the Kyoral law of Singapore and Singapore recognized an emergency arbitrator, and we have a right to derogate from Section 9, they both accepted the emergency arbitrator's decision.
Right, sir. Thank you, sir, for such illuminating thoughts. My final question for the session would be, what do you believe, how will the final decision in Amazon future dispute affect the future of international arbitration and its enforceability in India?
Well, don't forget, one of the judges was in the enforcement issue was doing a final hearing. One of the judges in the suit was only doing an interim order. So if you look at the final hearing, the emergency arbitrator has been completely accepted. The Supreme Court seems to have followed the single judge's order and says that institutions, including the NCLT, will not pass any final orders on the validity of the Future and Reliance deal, and the Supreme Court will deal with it. It appears that the Supreme Court is also inclined to accept the emergency arbitrator, and so to ensure that India is a very pro-arbitration jurisdiction, at least starting from the top with the Supreme Court, which I think is excellent news for all arbitration counsel.
Definitely, sir. Thank you so much, sir. It is always a pleasure listening to you talk about the craft which you master. Our viewers will learn considerably from your experience and knowledge that you share as our expert on regular basis. We once again thank you for sharing your expertise with SSC Online family. Thank you for taking our time for us, sir.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.